Meet Dexter, meet Christina. Say hello, you two. It's them. They are SideBoob The Dude.
Okay, so we are SideBoob and The Dude. Maybe better known, right now anyway, as Christina and Dexter.
That's true.
Yeah.
We do have a bit more of a following as those names.
Well, I mean, those are the names our parents
friends.
gave us. So.
Yeah, our given names.
Yeah.
Our self-given names, on the other hand, though, the ones you're going to get used to, SideBoob and The Dude.
Yeah, which I don't have a lot of SideBoob, in case you were wondering, but...
I have enough that I can give you mine.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, deal.
I should probably have a little bit more.
Sure.
Maybe if we become successful, I'll get a boob job.
Okay.
Or a lift anyway.
Can I get a boob reduction?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
That does happen.
I feel like it would be way easier if I just worked out, but...
Nah,
I mean, if we're rich, I might as well spend some money, right?
Laziness is a virtue.
Exactly. Exactly. So what are we talking about this week?
Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about dun 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 roommate etiquette.
Okay, I like it.
So most people don't live alone.
No.
Forever. At some point, you have a roommate.
Exactly.
And I'm not talking about the people that refer to their parents as roommates when they're in their 20s.
That's cheating.
Yes, because no, they're not your roommates. They're your parents and used to live in their basement.
If you pay rent to your parents, that's a different thing, but
Yeah.
they're not your roommates.
No. We're talking about moving out of the house that you grew up in
Mm-hmm.
and going out into the real world, the big world with no diapers,
Mm-hmm.
and getting yourself a roommate. And then what it means to share things in your apartment.
Between roommates.
Yes. So there's this theory on when you move in with people. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is also mine.
Okay, yeah.
It works differently, I think, with females.
Yeah, I can see that because I live with all males and we have zero issues sharing things.
Yeah, and I think mostly it comes into play with clothes for females. It's like, listen, my closet is now open business, and if you want to take something, I can't get mad about it, and vice versa.
Okay.
Because girls just like to wear each other's clothes.
See, we operate that way with shoes in my house.
Okay.
Because we all seem to have the same size feet, so it's just like, I need to go outside, I need a pair of shoes. You just find the closest pair to your feet and you go out the door.
Right, yeah.
Now, this rarely ever becomes an issue. The rare time I go looking for a pair of shoes in particular, and they're already out the house. But, I mean, really.
What are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do at this point? You just put on another pair of shoes.
Yeah. There is always that time where I literally was like dreaming about a top of mine.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm going to wear the shit out of that
Yep.
top tomorrow. I'm going to look so good in it. And then I'm like, where's my top? And then it's like, oh, yeah, I wore that the other day and it's super dirty. Can't get it. But, like, I mean, for me, I'm totally down with the open closet concept.
Yeah.
Because as much as my roommates take my clothes, I take theirs equally as much.
Okay, but here's my question then. If you guys are sharing clothes so much, does it come down to you wore it, you wash it, or you own it, you wash it?
That's interesting. Wore it, you wash it in our house.
Okay.
But like some people are weird about putting things in the dryer.
Yeah, that's
and,
what I'm
like,
thinking.
Hand washing and shit.
Or
so.
like, I use this kind of soap instead of whatever soap be. It's
I
just-
mean, like I'm in my mid-20s, so like there's no real like luxury soap happening.
Right.
It's like, oh, we don't have any laundry detergent, like dish soap, like that works too, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
the same kind of thing.
yeah,
It's still soap.
What if I just wash it without soap? Is it clean then?
Is it clean or is it just wet?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's funny. But I mean, a lot of people do get mad about that kind of thing. But here's the issue. Like, do you ask? Like, is there a point after you live with someone for a while? It's like, okay, like I need to, have a glass of milk and that's not my carton of milk. Do you ask about it or do you just take it?
The way I look at it is I don't necessarily think that you need to ask for it. I think it's just like, hey, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to take some milk or whatever. Milk's a bad example because milk is something in our house anyway that it's just like, we need milk. So it's just like, whoever's going out next, get milk.
And it's pretty much like milk or like things that you drink or like condiments are like open business in our house.
Like things that you need to make other things with.
Yeah.
Like condiments or like butter.
Yeah.
Or, just the stupid stuff.
Here's the issue though, like a thing that can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
If I only have one pizza pocket in the freezer and it's my last pizza pocket and you go in the fucking freezer and eat my last pizza pocket,
Yep.
I probably kick your cat.
Now, see, kick your cat. That's not a euphemism for anything, too. That's just you
gonna kick your cat.
owning a cat and kicking it.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thing, though. This is the way I would look at it. If I eat your last pizza pocket, let's say you and I live together, I eat your last pizza pocket. The way I'm going to deal with this is I'm going to leave you a note that says, I ate your last pizza pocket.
Right.
I owe you $20. twice the amount of pizza pockets that I ate.
Right.
So it's like, I ate your last one, I now owe you 2.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you had 4,
Notes.
I ate 1, you're good to go. I ate the last one, though. That's
So
going to
I'm gonna sidestep because you
Okay.
just brought up notes. The passive aggressive note that the roommate may or may not leave around the apartment. We have a chalkboard, which
Yeah.
you could leave a note on there if you wanted, or the post-it note. We don't. We usually, like, if something's going on,
Yep.
we face-to-face it out just to get it out of the way. But I know a lot of people and have lived with people before that it's like they leave a note that says, "These are not my dishes, they're yours, so do them."
Ugh.
No, just tell me to do my friggin'
Yeah,
dishes.
just be like, hey, I do the dishes.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're all adults here. Just tell me what you want done.
I hate.
Passive-aggressive notes is something that I would never, ever leave.
No.
But just stuff like, I ate your last pizza pocket.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to tell you this, but personally, I find leaving random notes for positive things to be a much more fun game.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like, hey, like, you've got a test tomorrow for your psychology,
Yeah.
whatever, something way more smart than I am.
Or even something like, I'm not going to be home later. Remember your friggin' keys.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, yeah, useful. I mean, I guess a text is probably almost the same as a passive-aggressive
Definitely.
note now, because you can just text them and be like, hey, like, do this.
Do you want to
or
do
whatever.
this? Yeah. And it's just like, I'm going to be home in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Acceptable things also are like, if I owe you money for like the light bill,
Yep.
I'm not going to remember that.
No.
So you texting me to be like, yo, bitch, you owe me $20. Like, thank you, because
Yep.
I wasn't going to have $20 in my wallet. Now I will.
Exactly.
And I'll
I'll
bring it to
stop
you.
at a bank machine now.
Yeah, totally.
But that's the thing. That's the kind of thing we do too. I don't know about you, but we have one person that pays all our bills in our house, and we just pay that person.
Yeah, we've got it worked out pretty well right now. Like, I've lived in enough apartments to know that, like, everything should most likely be included in your rent cost.
Yep.
Just the one bill. So I have it worked out where lights is the only thing that I pay outside of that. But
Mm-hmm.
that's usually, I've done it so one person is responsible for it, or if there's more than one, we each take one.
Yep.
So that one
I've seen
person
that.
isn't always responsible if things are late or like whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you pay power, I'll pay
Internet,
the
cable.
Internet. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Yeah, totally.
It's SideBoob The Dude!
We have Chris with us here, our good friend Chris. Now, Chris, you've lived with roommates, obviously.
Yes, I've had a few roommates.
Now, you were just telling us a story while we were off the air about a particular time where somebody went away, you went away,
I went away.
and not a single thing was done while you were gone.
Not a thing.
So,
Not a
what do you mean?
damn
So,
thing.
like dishes? Like what?
Dishes weren't done. Garbage wasn't taken out. I came back. There was about 6 or 7 garbage bags by the door, and it takes literally 5 minutes
seconds.
to walk it down. Like
Down to the dumpster, yeah.
It was in the parking lot, but it's 5 minutes out of your day to walk it down. And now I had 2 roommates at the time.
Yeah.
So a buddy of mine crashed on the couch, a permanent roommate, and I was gone for 9 days. I came back, nothing done. The dishes that were in the sink when I left were still there, now moldy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they must have been like collecting mold now.
What they were doing was literally washing one dish when they needed it, wiping it off, using it, and putting it back.
So did you passive aggressive note it? Did you scream and yell? What'd you do? Like, what was the plan of attack to be like, your
I
roommates?
flipped my shit.
Yeah.
Like, guys, gone for 9 days. This is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
9 days, nothing done. Garbage wasn't taken down. Dishes weren't done. Like, and I had to go to work that day, so I went to work. And I'm thinking, okay, you know.
I ain't your mother.
Well, exactly. You're grown men
Yeah.
living on your own. Take care of your shit.
See, my thought process on this, like when any of my roommates go away, I like to think of it as the same way as my parents going away, where when they get back, the house or apartment should be cleaner than when they left.
Exactly. And I didn't expect miracles, but I figured I'd go to work, I'd come back, stuff's done. No.
Yeah.
So what I did is I took all the dishes, I put them in a box, and I took them down to the dumpster. And I put them in the dumpster, and that was it. We had no more dishes. And when they went to make something to eat, they asked me, "Oh, you did the dishes?"
Nope.
Kind of.
But I didn't throw them out.
I got rid of your moldy
exactly.
dishes.
And they're like, "Well, where's all the plates?" I was like, "I threw them the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't want to wash them. They were my plates to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't need them."
Yeah.
Now they're
I
gone.
like I worked in a restaurant. I ate at the restaurant 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So from there on out, it was
Did it get better from there?
Well, better if you mean paper plates, sure.
All right, sure.
Because that's all they use.
Not better for the environment.
No.
Better for Chris's non-cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, everyone has shared the duty of doing other people's dishes or cleaning up their mess when you live with someone. Like, that happens. Yeah. And if it's a trade-off, like, totally cool with me. But there's also things that your roommates don't do that in a messy way that could really, like, irk you. Like, the dishes could not be done for, like, 4 days, and it makes me mad, and I do them, and I'm pissed about it.
Yeah.
But if my roommates do not separate the recycling, like, if they make a box of Kraft dinner and then, like, in our pantry, there's 2 bags. One for broken down boxes. The other one is for all of your cans and your bottles and all of that shit.
Yep, the returnable stuff.
Right. If you just have, like, a box of Kraft dinner and then afterwards you just throw it in the pantry at the bag and don't break the box down,
or just leave it on the
could murder
counter.
you.
Yeah.
I could murder you. Or, like, you have a can of tuna and instead of cleaning it out, you just throw it in the bag. It's like,
oh, it's gonna get so gross.
And that shit stinks.
It stinks. It, like, honestly, it just. Yeah. Oh, I could seriously. Again, I would kick a cat.
I like that. That's your level. It's just like it goes from angry to raging to kick a cat.
We have a cat and I love him. I never would kick him actually, but yeah, no. So what is your guys' like thing? Like if there's something messy that happens, it's like your breaking point where you're literally just gonna be like, ah, demon.
My big thing is definitely dishes left in the living room. Like if you leave them by the sink, that's fine because they're gonna get washed if they're by the sink. Because somebody will walk in and be like, "Oh, dishes need to be done," and then they'll do them.
At least you made that small effort.
Exactly.
To
if you're not gonna wash them, at least bring them to where they're gonna get washed. But like when dishes are left in the living room and it's just like, I just cleaned this yesterday. How did you guys drink so many different things from so many different containers?
You know what? Yeah. You could use the same cup.
Same
again.
cup.
Yeah.
Same cup. What's yours, Chris?
My breaking point, I found out, was with bills.
Okay.
I had a roommate, couldn't get him on the lease just because of credit issues, whatever. Offered to help him out, stay.
So there was your red flag, bud.
Yeah, really.
Well, yeah. But I figured a friend, he's not going to leave me in the lurch. 3 months later, still hasn't given me any money for bills, not TV, not phone, nothing. So I was like, dude, either pay up all or see you later.
Yeah, my brother was in a situation like that where he moved in with his best friend through high school, and this guy just like stopped working or something and didn't get another job, and then my brother was just paying rent and everything else forever, and this kid still owes him all this money, and my brother's just like sweet and nice and like obviously pissed about it, but he's like, I don't know, like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I would be furious.
Now this brings us to an interesting point. Roommates, easier with strangers or with friends?
Okay, so I had a theory on moving in with people that I didn't really know. Like, I knew them, but I didn't know them really well or wasn't, like, super tight friends with them. It's sort of when I first started moving in with people, that's what I was like.
Yep.
Because I was worried that I would ruin my friendships with people if I moved in with people who I was really good friends with. So I would always take the summer and move in with my, like, super tight friends. So we would be there for, like, 3-4 months max, party all the time.
Obviously.
Love it, right? And then for the rest of the year, live with people I didn't know that well. Which, it has its advantages for sure, because if there's issues, you're like, whatever, I don't care if I ever see this person again. But also, it's like, when you're really tight friends with somebody, you can be like, yo, dude, like, clean your fucking dirty underwear off the floor before I kill you. But at first, when you move in with somebody you don't know that well, you're like, I don't know, like, I don't know their habits. I don't know how they're going to react.
Totally.
Like,
it's also easier on the flip side of it, too. Like, let's say you're the one that's kind of screwed over. Like, for whatever reason, I don't know, let's say you work hourly and you didn't make enough hours that month, and it's just like, I'm short on rent.
Yeah.
You can just go to your buddy who you live with and be like, dude, I need $100 to make rent, and then when I get paid again, boom, it's yours.
Yeah.
That is significantly easier than with a stranger.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't do that probably with a stranger at all.
I don't think I could do it.
I think you're totally right though. With moving in with a friend, there's a time factor. It goes from party mode to, because that's what happened. I had a friend. Him and I became roommates, and we were great friends. It was party all the time. We were having a blast. We worked together. We partied together. You know, it was a great time. But that kind of fizzled out, and it was just like, you're a slob.
Yeah.
clean up your shit, start paying your bills, and it kind of put a lot of tension. We're back to being friends, but it put a tension on the friendship to where we
Totally.
didn't talk for
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
So I think in the long run, it's better to live with somebody you don't know.
yeah, keep
Well,
your friends,
yeah,
like,
you're
separate.
you're roommates, and then
Yeah.
you have your friends, because there's nothing stopping you from having your friends over all the time.
No.
And I mean, on the flip side of that, like this living situation that I'm in right now,
Mm-hmm.
we just had a roommate of ours move out and move in with her boyfriend, which
Yep.
was cool. And we have a new roommate that I don't really know. But when we first moved in, there was 3 of us,
Yep.
and we were each friends with my one roommate, but we weren't friends with each other.
Gotcha.
But over the last year and a half that we've lived together, like her and I now are tight as shit. Like
Yeah.
we're like besties. And like it's such a perfect living like arrangement because we didn't know each other, we didn't know our habits, but we're the exact same. It's like
Yeah.
that situation where it's like, shit man, I like didn't do my pot. And she's like, whatever, I just did it this morning. And then she's like, I didn't do this. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Share everything, share clothes, don't give a shit, party, love each other.
Exactly.
Like, and it was like, I'd never would have known that about her had I not moved in with her.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works out for the best. I mean, it's people's personalities either blending or
Totally.
not.
And that's just
Definitely.
it. And I think as long as you're on top of everything in the apartment, like keeping it clean to respect each other,
Yeah.
and not screwing each other over money wise, you're gonna be good.
It's SideBoob The Dude.
Respect is a big thing. And we were talking about partying as well. So obviously I think there's rules throughout the week. So or
Now, are we thinking written rules or just like
just, like,
implied rules?
I mean, I think rules as you're an adult and someone works a 9 to 5, like it's a Tuesday night and you decide to go get drunk, like maybe the best idea isn't to come home being like,
don't bring the party
home.
home with you.
Right. Through the week. I mean, obviously it would be different if someone you were living with, whatever, works on the weekends.
Sure.
And has to get up. But let's say they don't.
Yep.
Let's say
Let's go on a
everyone in
9 to 5.
perfect world works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5-ish, whatever, and has Saturday and Sunday off. Do those rules change for a Friday to Saturday night? Like, do you just get to drop the rules completely and act like a drunken monster?
I don't think you get to drop the rules. I think the rules definitely do change, though.
Yeah.
I think you go from let's say a typical cutoff time for like a weekday night is like, I don't know, midnight.
Midnight,
You have to be
yeah,
up at
sure.
9. Let's say midnight.
Yeah.
So I think that time would then push on the weekend from like midnight to let's say like 2:30 when the bars are going to come out.
Yeah.
So bars are closed now. You are done. It's
Okay,
like
but
you bring that party home. It's just like no. It's after
Let's
2
take into
a.m.
consideration that at 2:30 the bars close, and then you have to go get food,
True.
which could take another hour.
True.
So then you're looking at 3:30.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You can't really bring the party home after that. It's like, no.
So if your roommates are out with you, it's fine. But
Right.
if there's one home sleeping, like, don't do that.
Right. That's what I would think.
But what if
anyway.
you do? Does the other roommate like get to be really pissed off, or do they just get to be like, listen, I didn't go out with you guys, so like whatever.
I think it would fall down to be like, let's say you're home and you're in bed, you're asleep, party comes home.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have to be up in the morning because it's this
Because it's a perfect
magical
world.
Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
If you feel up to getting up and joining the party, you completely revoke any anger that you could put towards it.
Yeah.
But if you want to stay in bed and you can't stay in bed because of this party, then you get to bitch a little bit.
I think it's like this. I mean, yeah, of course, like people are gonna be pissed and like you can bitch if you want to bitch, whatever. But I think like for all the times that you do it, they're probably gonna do it just as much.
True.
So if it equals out,
Yep.
then whatever, right?
And if you're
Then it's
staying
fair.
home and you're the one that's in bed every time, well, that's your
Then-
shit because you're a stick in the mud. So
Yeah. Drink some tequila and have a little fun for once.
exactly.
My God.
Get
Yeah.
your panties dissolved.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of those swing singers.
Swing singers.
Yeah, he had a
We're
quote.
taking a complete different track now. Okay.
Talking about
but-
swingers now? It's roommate swingers? I didn't know.
But you guys are talking about drinking, and it reminds me of the quote. It's like, I feel bad for sober people because that's as good as they're going to feel all day long. So it's true. Have a drink.
Yeah, it's true.
Wake up feeling like shit.
Yeah.
All right, so when you're drinking and you're acting a fool with your roommates, let's say, and,
Hang on. Are you shooting some b-ball outside of the school?
well, it depends if you're up to no good or not.
Okay,
Which,
cool.
If
Just
it's me,
checking.
then yes, I am.
Okay, just checking.
So, you're out, whatever, you come back home and your roommate does the, got the poutine, starts to eat the poutine and falls asleep, cuddling
face full,
poutine.
face full of poutine.
And you take the photograph.
Okay.
Do you get to just, do you think, okay, my roommate's going to be mad if I upload these videos of them singing drunkenly and peeing on a side of a brick wall and eating poutine and falling asleep on it? Do you think about your roommate more and not upload those things onto Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
Compared
whatever?
to just your friends?
Right. Or do you you do it because they're your roommates and you can do it? It
You
doesn't
do it.
matter.
I think you have the right to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, let's
If you're-
follow the same principle as
If you're in a drunken stupor and you do something stupid, you should be able to laugh about it.
It's true.
Either that or control your booze.
I think we should be able to follow the same rules as, you guys know the shoe rule, right?
No.
If you pass out with your shoes on, then people are allowed to write on you in marker.
Nice.
But if you pass out with your shoes off, then they're not. Because the logic
never heard
behind
that
it is
before.
if you pass it with your shoes on, clearly you had the intention to leave because you're still wearing your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But you dropped the ball on that because you were a drunken dumbass. So
Yeah.
now you get written on.
Yeah. And
Whereas
you-
if you had your shoes off, you weren't planning on falling
You
asleep
just-
there.
yeah.
You just passed out.
Yeah, I think the rule really is if you're gonna pass out first, you're gonna get fucked with.
Yeah. Well, it's only fair.
Yeah, I have enough friends who pull pranks to know that even if I'm falling asleep, I will sneak the 5-hour energy that I hid somewhere and take it and be up until 7 in the morning because I just don't want to be.
I will beat you.
Or at the
Yeah.
very least, hide before you pass out.
Yeah,
So people don't find you. Go find a bedroom. Get out of the party way.
yeah.
Just
Hopefully
if you're
one
gonna
with a
pass
lock.
out, wander off.
Yeah.
or hide somewhere better than a bedroom,
Yeah, just pass out in some pantry somewhere. Linen closet.
linen closet.
They
man,
would be the
there's-
comfiest.
Exactly, and you got so much stuff to hide under.
You could just nest in there like a house hippo.
I like it.
Word to the wise: if ever drunk with SideBoob and the Dude and Chris,
Yeah.
just don't be because we're gonna fuck with your shit.
Well, you can be drunk. We fully encourage you being drunk.
Just don't pass out.
Just know what's up. That's all we ask.
You'll wake up fucked up and on Facebook.
Yeah.
Fucked up and on Facebook. Yeah,
Nice.
it's the way it's gonna go.
Okay, SideBoob and the Dude talking
Yeah.
about roommate etiquette, talking about living with people. What are the do's and don'ts?
The rules, the unwritten rules, the implied rules.
Yeah. So unless your roommate is your boyfriend or girlfriend,
Which is an interesting game to play anyway.
right? How often, if not, do you have your boyfriend or girlfriend over at your apartment? Because here's the thing, especially in your early 20s, for whatever reason, couples go through this before they actually officially move in and
Yep.
decide to share the power bill
They
thing.
go the trial period, we'll call it.
Yeah, this weird, I live with other people and we each have our own apartments, but we really do actually live with each other because we're inseparable and we are at one or both of our apartments all the time.
Exactly.
So, when for your roommates who are not in the relationship with said boyfriend or girlfriend, does this become an issue?
Now, are we
Is it an
saying coming over in general or staying over? As in, they're there for all the meals.
Yeah.
They're there throughout the night.
Their
in the morning,
toothbrush is in your bathroom.
taking up shower time in the morning as you're trying to get ready for work.
Yeah, they poop in your bathroom. There is poop happening.
And they do not spray.
no, they
They
don't
just
spray.
poo and leave. They poop and abandon.
Well, honestly, who wants potpourri and shit smell? It's like shitberries.
Yeah, it's true.
It's worse than just plain old.
You know what is a better indication that you took a shit in the bathroom? You turn the fan on and shut the door.
Yeah.
And when the knock happens and there's no one in there, you know that even though there's no one in there, you're going to open up to a bomb.
Yeah.
You know what that
There's,
means.
You're
there's
prepared.
Lingering.
Yeah.
There's lingering.
Yeah. That's the only time a passive aggressive note would be useful.
Yeah.
Dear roommate, I just shit in here. It's
Yeah.
going to smell.
Beware. Shit.
Yeah.
Don't airs last night at 2 a.m.
Okay, but
sorry.
okay, so let's say I'd say if it's more than half of any given week, so let's say 4 out of the 7 days in the week, your significant other or roommate's significant other is over, then I think that they should start having to pay some sort of something.
I mean,
at least like contributing for groceries or something.
I've done it.
Okay.
I've been in the situation where like I had a boyfriend and he like stayed over all the time. And I've been in a situation where I've lived with someone who had a boyfriend who stayed over all the time.
For sure.
So again, like that, my theory on like if it equals out, you kind of can't complain about it.
Definitely.
Comes
if it's
into
equal.
play. I mean, it was 2 different situations and 2 different roommates. So whatever.
Not equal then.
But in my brain, I'm like, oh, we're equal now. But yeah, it's a weird circumstance because like you don't want to be like a bitch and be like, yo, I'm tired of seeing your fucking boyfriend's ass in the morning all the time. But like I don't
know
see your
about that
boyfriend's
though.
ass.
I mean, I think you can have an underwear rule.
Yeah.
Boyfriend's wandering, girlfriend's wandering. Well, boyfriend's wandering. I'll stick with boyfriend's wandering. Put on some fucking pants.
No, I think in general, like it's my apartment, so if I want to walk around in my underwear, that's cool.
Sure.
But if your boyfriend who doesn't pay rent is walking around in his underwear, no, he needs to be fully clothed in my apartment.
Okay, well then let's set that. You pay rent, you get to lose clothes.
Yeah,
There's the rule.
The more rent you pay, the more articles of clothing
the more naked
off.
you can be. That seems like a good rule.
Yeah.
So if I pay all the rent at your place, I can just come over and walk around naked?
If you pay my rent, you can do whatever you want in my
Dude,
apartment.
you can wander around my apartment naked if you pay
can
my
poop
rent.
with the door open if
Bobby
you pay my
scares
rent.
me.
That's understandable.
Yeah, if you come pay my rent, you can poop with the door open. You don't even have to close it. You don't even turn the fan on.
don't
I
even
don't
have to
care.
flush.
I'll crack a window and fucking live the life
I'll
because
deal with it there.
I got literally have a sugar daddy at that point. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's a tricky business to be in.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be case by case.
Because like no matter what, it makes you feel awkward.
For sure.
You know, like I have gone like 6 years with roommates and never ever heard one of my roommates having sex before. And like I lived with a hoe once. But so this was the situation. Like I'm really sore from something. Like maybe I was trying to be ambitious at the gym or some shit. And I'm like, I really need to take a motherfucking bath.
Right.
Like needs to have a bath. So I like Epsom salted up. I'm like, probably
Going
had
the
a
whole
candle
9 yards.
going, like
Of course.
bubbles, the whole thing. I'm like really stoked to have this bath. So I go in, like splish splash, taking a bath. And my roommate's room is right beside the bathroom. They had no idea like that I was in having a bath. Like they just didn't know. They had like watching TV, didn't hear, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like having my friggin' bath. I'm so excited about it. What do I hear? Them doing it.
Oh.
Like the whole, and then yeah, right there business. And I was
my
like,
God, you got the whole like
literally
play
like
by play.
had to like do the like go underwater like like just like, and then it was hilarious though because like 2 days later my roommate's like, so the other day you were having a bath, and I was like, yeah, I heard you guys having sex, it was weird, it's over.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
But at one point, like, do you just maybe like give a little knock?
I did the like, I was like splashing in the bath, like, I'm in the bath.
Rub-a-dub-dub, rub-a-dub.
But I mean, after that, it was kind of funny because like
Yeah.
that awkwardness was just, not that we didn't talk about sex or any of that stuff
Well, that's
before,
it.
but I'd never heard it. So like that awkwardness was completely gone. So like when I knew that they were having sex, I would just like bust into their room and be like, I caught you again. And then I'd be like, oh, I regret it.
See,
Immediate regret.
my old roommate used to have his girlfriend over, and you could hear like my house, our apartment was basically made of paper and mud. Like you could hear everything, even whispers.
Did you pay rent to the Three Little Pigs there?
I did.
Okay.
Because when you live with someone, man, it's like you get to know like the weird shit that person does.
Oh yeah.
Like all the weird psycho behavior.
Yeah.
And like you get to hear them having sex. Like, yeah,
My room,
or see their balls.
in my apartment right now, my room is right between both my other roommates' rooms.
That's
Oh,
what mine
God.
is like too.
It's
yeah.
bizarre. But it's weird because like I can just hear them talking, right? Through the walls. I just hear them talking. I can't hear what they're saying. I
It's
can
like,
just hear the fact that people are talking.
Charlie Brown.
And it's just like, yeah, exactly. But it's just like, you're both in your rooms. Nobody else is here. You're both talking to yourselves. This is bizarre. I just want to start talking like in between the two of them. Just be like, no, yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That might be the time where you ask a doctor to come over and everyone just sit in the living room.
No, just sit them in my bedroom and be like, just sit here for a while. Listen to them.
Sounds like they're talking like this when they're talking through the wall.
Kind of, yeah. Exactly, Chris. It's the coffee cup.
Yeah. I like it.
That just made me want a coffee.
Yeah, we can go get one right now.
Sweet.
We'll listen to some tunes.
SideBoob and the Dude.
I know that things can really get rough when you go it alone, which I never knew.
SideBoob, the dude,
And Chris.
and the dude's dude, Chris. Okay, so I'm 25. Dexter, you are
I'm 21.
21.
31.
Yes, but okay, an acceptable age to be married.
Sure,
31.
of course.
Right? So I've noticed over the last 5 years of my life that as the years go on, more and more people that I know either are popping out babies
Yeah.
or are getting married, which is crazy to me because either they've grown up a lot and I am still a child playing with my Ninja Turtles. Or,
Don't ever put those Ninja Turtles down.
No, I'm not going to.
Good.
Or they're crazy. Those are my two theories.
Crazy.
Okay.
I think they're crazy.
Crazy.
I think so.
Like, it's not 1962. At 25, I don't need to have a 14-year-old and,
14-year-old at 25.
rolling bread in the
Wow.
kitchen. Like, I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, I totally know what you
maybe
mean.
1942. But there's always been this pressure for people to find
The one.
and get married and reproduce and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just, it's been ongoing. It might have evolved a little bit, but like it seems to be everyone's main objective is to find that one and only person and pop out their fucking little mini-me's. But for me, it's like, and again, I say this about myself. I'm not feminist.
No.
But I am a woman who is strong about women's rights.
We should also point out she's a very attractive woman. Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I like women in society who have important roles and shit like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. So my main objective as a 25-year-old is to have a successful career.
Totally.
Do that. Maybe knock off some of this fucking student loan debt that I have.
Yeah.
And then worry about my uterus and
I don't
a
even
ring in
think
my
you should.
fanga.
I don't even think you should have to worry about your uterus.
I mean, the
I should
doctor
get rid
looks
of
at my
what's in it.
uterus, so the doctor
That's
worries
true.
about it anyway. but-
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, there might come a time where your whole plan comes to a head and it's like, hey, I've got my student loan paid off. My credit's awesome. I've got my own house. And then you start thinking about a family.
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll be like, fuck it. I just like being me.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is like I'm not traditional at all.
Yep.
So it's hard for me to relate, one, to females in general because they are weird.
This
But-
is very true. Females in general, kind of strange.
Yeah. But also, like, to the traditional, like, values of people, like, wanting to have kids, like, at a certain age, like, young,
Yep.
be young parents, and, the white dress and all that crap that, like, I never cared about any of that. Like, I wasn't one of those girls that was, like, had the way, like, my wedding dress picked out when I was, like, 14 and
Yeah.
was, like, wanted, like, fucking lilies or some shit at my wedding. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what a fucking
Picking out
lily
the
looks
bouquet.
like. I have to Google flowers. Like,
I have to Google flowers.
What's a carnation?
But yeah, no, totally. But it's just weird to me. Like, okay, so as I said, like over the last 5 years, it just seems like, and Facebook like really ruins all of this for me and
Yeah.
it makes me psycho because I go on and it's like, I'm checking out like albums of like people that I graduated with, like getting married and having
weird,
kids.
eh?
It's so insane. 3 people that I know that are the same age as me got married this summer.
Yep.
My friend was just home from being away for a year, and we were out like just hanging about. Ran into a bunch of people we knew from high school, all talking about their weddings, and I'm
That's so
like,
bizarre.
It's scary. And then it's like eventually, like I'm gonna be all by myself, and I'm gonna be invited to like couples dinner parties, and I'm gonna have to like bring my Hulk Hogan doll that I sleep with every night.
Don't worry,
Because,
SideBoob. You've
what
got your
else?
dude. I'll come to your dinner parties.
All right, good. You better.
Then
be
there you
chatty.
go. That's your plan.
I'll be a chatty Cathy. Don't you worry about me.
Then that's your plan. You don't. Don't let the pressure of others fall onto you.
But I do.
Yeah.
It's like impossible.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody says they're not going to let the pressures fall on them, but they're going to. It's hard not to. You have to be a pretty strong or stubborn person to not let the pressures fall on you. But at the same time, you're just going to live what you're going to live, right?
Yeah. And people are like, "Oh, you're only 25. Like, it's cool. Like, think about all like the time that you have to like figure it out or whatever." And they're like, by like 28, you could be married. And I'm like, you think? Because I think you should probably be dating someone for an extended period of time.
I was going to say that gives you 3 years if you meet somebody tomorrow.
Yeah, like, which isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, to be realistic.
My wife and I were together 3 years before we even got engaged.
Yeah, no, and
There
that's
you
my
go.
thing. It's like, I think that there are certain things in a relationship that you need to go through before you decide to, like, go for it.
Exactly.
And marry this person.
And Chris is a good example, too, because Chris just got married last summer. So Chris got married at 30, 31.
Perfect.
And is, after having gone through that, now starting to have
And
children.
just popped out a baby.
Well, my anniversary is in 3 days.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's been 1 year.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. Congratulations, my friend.
Well, thank you.
But you are the walking, breathing, like, bear of my existence right now. Like, the thing that makes me cringe and cry in my bed.
You think about Chris when you're in your bed, and then
cry.
it makes you cry.
Wither up in a ball and cry with my Hulk Hogan doll.
Is it weird it's not the first time I've heard a woman say that about me?
Only if it was not the first time today.
Yeah.
It's not.
All right, then.
Doesn't
Now it's
surprise
weird.
me in the least. Yeah, okay, I understand. It's so weird. Like, people can tell you whatever you need to hear or want to hear for that matter, but you're still, like, psycho about stuff.
Totally, because you're only going to hear what you want to hear.
And, like, there's just a weird, like, I feel a lot like I need to grow up recently.
No, you don't.
But it's impossible for me. Like, I am so immature for 25. It's awful. And
Yeah, but you're basing immaturity on an age and not immaturity on a person-by-person basis.
yeah, like, I mean, I got a full-time job, so that's pretty awesome for 25. Done school.
Yeah, like I consider you to be very mature. Like I look at you as an authority figure in our place of work. And you are the furthest thing from an authority figure as soon as we leave this building.
That's because you're my coffee bitch.
That's true. I am your coffee bitch.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm 31.
Yeah, no, it does make me feel
And-
better.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
I forget because you're really immature too.
Yeah.
I'm 31 and I still like to have fun like I'm 17.
Yeah.
I don't want to grow old in that aspect.
Chris and I,
can be mature.
totally spent the better part of like an hour and a half just looking at the Post-it note wall in my apartment as he figured out what he was going to do creatively on this wall, to which he then finally figured out that he was just going to write incredibly tiny. That was what Chris had decided to do.
To be fair, when I saw that wall, I drew a dick and put it up. So
And then you drew a side boob and
Yeah.
put it up.
Yeah.
The
So-
two separate times that Christina has added
So
to...
I am clearly a 12-year-old boy who, for the first time, had a wet dream. That's
But really,
and
though,
then needed
who I
to
am.
tell the world.
But really though, is it immaturity or is it just having fun? Where do you
It's
draw the
totally
line?
just having fun. It's totally having fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like immaturity, that's totally a blanket statement. Because you're immature if you are not on the same level as everyone you're with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you saying that you're immature has no grounds here because you're with. My name is the Dude. Like
Yeah.
your name is SideBoob. There's no way that we can base our immaturity on anything other than outside of our regular social circles. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I mean, I also have the same group of friends I've had forever, my whole life. And it's a bunch of dudes, a couple other chicks who act just like me.
Yeah.
And we feed each other's immaturity hard. Like, we still do the same bullshit that we've done when we were literally 14. Like, we act like shit idiots, which is great and reassuring because although everyone around us seems to be having kids and getting married, my core group, none of us are yet.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, whoever has the first wedding, gonna be epic.
Oh, it's gonna be a rager.
Weddings are the shit. Like
Oh, they are.
it's
Wedding
scary.
receptions are the shit.
Yeah. I just want my wedding to be a big reception. Like I literally at some point in my drunk, I just want to be like, okay, right now. And like I just stroll up with my beer and they're like, you do? And I'm like, I do.
Put your beer down so we can
Kiss
put the
me,
ringer on it.
please, party time.
Kiss me, you know you want to.
Oh, I got my dress dirty.
It's SideBoob The Dude.
Everyone I ever talk to about their weddings, they always say that most of the things that you do for your wedding are done for other people.
Totally.
Oh,
Like, it's
totally.
not about the two people getting married at all.
No.
It's
and
about
isn't that
everyone
the
else.
weirdest thing too?
I did my,
Stupid.
I did the food at my own wedding, and it
but
was.
you love to cook, so that's
I do, and I had help from my old chef and my best friend, who's a chef, and the menu was done to almost impress other people.
Yeah.
It was, of course, I liked it, but I didn't just make it for me.
No.
I made it for the 300 guests that were going to have it and go, wow, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, this is a meal.
Literally walked in, like, in the lunchroom at work, like, walked in on these two people who have recently, like, got married, had kids,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah, blah. And they were talking about their weddings. And so, like, me walking in on that, like, obviously my entire skin was, like, cringing. It was like, oh, my God, not again. But it was interesting because they were talking about the things that they did for their weddings that were for other people. And, like, the stress that you feel on your wedding
trying
day,
to oblige those people.
which is nutty. It's like, it should be the happiest day of your life. Like, if you're running around, like, with your head cut off like a chicken, just
Yeah.
freaking out about everything, like, no way. No wonder brides get super sloppy at their weddings.
Oh yeah,
You know?
they have to.
Well, my wife was like that. The day of the wedding, she couldn't relax. She was so up in arms, wound up about everything, making sure everything was in place. And I'm like, if it's not, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Who cares?
our day.
because it turns into this whole production, right? Like
Yeah.
it's something that has to go off without a hitch. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this isn't a Broadway musical.
No,
Yeah. It's like, let the doves out at this exact time while she walks down the aisle.
Yeah,
Blah, blah.
the doves are gonna shit. It's gonna happen. Just
Yeah.
prepare for it. You're gonna be
Doves
fine.
are going to poop on your grandpa. Like,
Yeah, and it's gonna be funny as hell.
yeah. I
Grandpa's
mean,
gonna sit there. He's gonna laugh.
yeah.
Uncle Jerry's
Or
going to
curse
get up
the
for the
doves.
speech, and he is going to be drunk as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
You
he's
shouldn't
gonna
have
be
gave him the
"Ugh."
wine. I don't know why you gave him that.
Yeah.
My best friend who did the speech at my wedding was hammered as shit.
As he
Nice.
should be.
He was so nervous about doing the speech, he went to the bar, ordered 6 beers, chugged them one after the other,
Awesome.
waited about 15 minutes, and then did the speech.
And was it epic?
It was awesome.
Oh, see, because that's the thing too. It's just like, okay, I'm at my best friend's wedding. How do I have fun with my best friend? We get inebriated.
Yeah.
Well,
so
here,
that's
like-
what I'm gonna do.
I don't like the whole like walking down the aisle and the weird like Bible speechy thing
Yep.
that the priest or whomever does. All that stuff. Like, I don't like any of that. The things I like about weddings are this: the dancing,
Yep.
the drinking,
Yep.
anything and everything to do with the reception and the speeches, because the speeches are hilarious.
And that one guy wandering around with the video camera.
Yeah.
Give a message to the bride and groom.
You're
all
just like,
just drunk and yeah.
this is blah, blah, blah.
The best is when the camera guy gets drunk. Then you get the most interesting footage. So many boob shots.
Okay, so here is a question for you. Now that you are married,
Mm-hmm.
how has the dynamic with like your friends changed? Like, is there a lot more like dinner parties and like coupling crap happening,
No.
or
It really hasn't changed. We have quite a few mutual friends, but we have our own friends.
yeah,
And it's the same as when we're just dating. If she wants to go, we make plans that I'm home
Yeah.
with the kids. Or if I want to go out, we make plans that she's home with the kids. Or if we're both going out, we organize it so that her mom or my mom takes the kids.
right.
So it really hasn't changed.
It just comes
Like,
down to scheduling.
Yeah, tonight after I'm done work, I'm going to watch football. So,
Okay.
and
Did she hate
they-
it when people touched her belly? Do they actually like it when people touch their
No,
bellies?
no advice. No pregnant woman likes it when you touch their belly.
Yeah, no.
That's understandable.
It's weird.
The hormones are flying. So the last thing you want to do is touch a pregnant woman's belly, because
Yeah.
inside they're a badger. Nobody fucks with the honey badger.
It's weird though, because it's
true.
like, like for me, it's like I feel like I have to or something. Like
Yeah.
they stand there and they're like, "Yeah, I'm pregnant," and I'm like, "Cool." Like
It's like a science
I'm
project.
like my hands going there. I'm like, "No, I won't." Like,
Mustn't.
yeah.
Like, I don't even think she liked me touching her belly. I would anyway, because that's my son. But it's just,
You did that to
Yeah.
her, so no, I wouldn't want you to touch it either.
Yeah, that's true.
but I mean, strangers would come up to her and be like, oh, how far
Yeah.
along are you?
Weirdos.
And they would rub it like they're rubbing a genie's glass ball, like a
Crystal ball.
Yeah, crystal ball. They were like, "How far along are you?" And I know nobody can see my hand motion,
It's okay.
but
It's implied.
It was just awkward. And anybody that knows my wife knows, don't touch her.
I want T-shirts if I ever get pregnant that say "Don't touch, hands off," like that go across the belly part of my shirt, and I'll just walk around like, "What up? Yeah, bully, pregnant bully right here."
Yeah, pregnant bully. This is the one time I encourage you to look at my boobs and not my belly.
Yeah, exactly. You can't touch those either. Though.
still off limits.
Yeah, they
Damn
might
it.
milk at you. So.
They might milk at you.
SideBoob and the Dude. I'm Batman.
So we obviously have way too much time on our hands. because,
Obviously.
You know, we're gonna tell each other what we should do on our spare time, which is veg out and watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna every single week suggest something that each other should watch that we haven't.
I think that the two of us have to watch it. At least a part of it.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like, if it's a movie, you have to at least watch, like...
No, if it's a movie, you gotta watch it all.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if it's a show, like maybe
Watch an
2
episode.
episodes.
2 episodes was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because you can't base anything on 1 episode, especially since if you're going to watch a show, you're going to watch the first episode, which is
SideBoob.
always a pilot.
SideBoob the Dude in the same brain. Duh.
See? Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, so hit me with something that you want me to watch.
Okay, so my must-watch for you this week, How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. Everyone is always like, I can't believe you've never watched How I Met Your Mother. I've watched episodes of it. Like,
yeah, and
Halloween
that's
Pumpkin
fine.
episode, hilarious.
Right, the Slutty Pumpkin.
Slutty Pumpkin.
But see, there's things with How I Met Your Mother, like the Slutty Pumpkin has been referenced probably a solid 5-6 times over the last 7 seasons. So
Yeah.
there's things that when
You've
you
gotta watch
just
it.
episodes, then they're funny, but they're so much funnier when you get all the random little things that they throw into it. Like just shit in the background and you're just like, oh my God, that's from that episode.
Yeah.
Or like you'll see something and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense now. It's just one of those shows that's so intricately written that it's funny enough on the surface, but it's even better when you get into it.
yeah, like I don't know why it's one of those things that I just never watched full out because I love every episode that I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
And it's like right up my alley. And again, all I do is watch TV.
Yep.
Like,
So there you go.
it's
That's your
awful.
must-watch for this week. You
Okay.
must watch at least 2 episodes.
I should start from the beginning.
I'll make it happen.
Right.
I'll bring
Okay.
you the DVD.
Yeah, bring me the DVD. It's your fault. I haven't seen it.
I'm sorry. Dropping that ball.
Okay, so I have a show also for you to watch.
Okay.
That may or may not make you want to change your career path.
Okay.
If being a badass motherfucker who one saves people and slays lots of bitches is up your alley,
I don't see how this is changing my career path. That's what I do now. Nobody can see.
Dude.
Nobody can see your disappointed look that you're giving me right now. But let me make it clear: it is sharp and going right through me.
okay, so the show is Rescue Me,
Okay.
and
Is
it's
that the one with Dennis Leary?
he is a firefighter,
Okay.
and he's a badass motherfucking firefighter, and he slays bitches, as I said. But it's a weird show, and I can't really explain it.
Okay.
Because
Is this a Netflixable thing?
yes,
Okay, cool.
yes, it's on Netflix. Netflix, please pay for this podcast.
Pay for this Netflix.
Yeah, it is, and it's awesome. I watched it straight through, couldn't stop watching.
Really?
it. Yeah, it's really, really good.
How many seasons are we into now?
I want to say there's 4.
Okay, that's not too
on
bad.
Netflix, maybe.
How I Met Your Mother?
There's like
Going
8.
into 8, just saying.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, Rescue Me. Do it, and
Cool.
I bet you'll want to be a firefighter after you watch it.
Probably.
Sweet. That's it.
That's SideBoob and the Dude for this week.
Yeah, suck it and listen again next week.
Stay tuned. Watch those shows.
Bitches.